Ha! What's going on, little dragons? How are you feeling today? If you guys are feeling good, please do let me know down in the comments below. Drop a like on this video, share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button as it will help your little dragon out so very much. Now today we're going to be reacting to World War One Oversimplified. This was requested for me to react to, but somebody down in the comments below on my last video is like, you know what, you really need to check this out, right? You need this will help you understand like what's World War One, what's World War Two, where this comes from, like what leads to what, and it just gives you an idea, you know, and it makes history a lot more easier and fun to learn. Because to me, I never really enjoyed history and stuff in school, as I mentioned in that World War II terrifying sounds video. So yeah, hopefully it's a lot of you, actually a lot of people, you know, they don't like to read, they don't like to, you know, go and study this. So it's better to understand it in a more simpler way. It's what Einstein says, right? If you can't explain something simply, it means you don't know it well enough. And I think if someone can explain something simply, that you can sort of understand the foundations and you can actually build your interest in it so that you can understand all the complicated stuff afterwards. It just makes everything more easier to understand, especially with technology these days, especially with YouTube and all this online and all the things that you can learn, right? It's crazy, and it wouldn't make any sense if we don't put the effort into learning all these things. So I'm so happy, I'm very thankful. Thank you to the person who requested for this. I really appreciate it, man. So yes, for those of you that are interested, for those of you that are, what am I trying to say? This is an interesting video for me as well as it's gonna be for you. So just stay here and enjoy this, man. Enjoy this history lesson. Let's get educated together. So this is the let me read this right, actually. I have to read this right. So this is World War One Oversimplified Part 1. We'll get down to Part 2 soon. But today we're going for Part 1, man. So yes, without further ado, we're going to hop right into this, my little dragons. Let's go. Alright, here we go.
A time of modern technology, culture, and fashion. Truly the height of civilization.
Ostrich.
Let's have a war. Everyone knew a big war was coming. France wanted some stuff back that Germany had taken from it. Germany wanted to take more of everyone's stuff, and they were building a big sexy navy that was making the British uncomfortable. These two empires thought they were really cool.
Okay, I like that.
People who lived there didn't think it was so cool. And some of them had even been declaring independence with help from Russia. Everyone was talking about each other behind each other's backs, throwing the fact that military technology had come a long way since the last major war, and suddenly everyone was pretty eager to beat each other up. In this area of Austria-Hungary lived some Serbs and Bosnians who hated living in Austria-Hungary. So the Austro-Hungarian Archduke Franz Ferdinand goes there for a nice drive in an open-top car with his car's route published in advance. And that went just about as well as you'd expect. Some assassins were waiting for him along the way and threw bombs at his car, but they missed and blew up some officers behind him instead. So the Archduke goes into hiding, leaves Sarajevo, and the whole war never happened. Except no, the Archduke doesn't leave, but instead goes back out in the open-top car to visit the injured officers in the hospital. The driver takes a wrong turn, and by sheer coincidence gets stuck beside one of the veiled assassins.
This is what I meant when I said the butterfly effect. So he went to they took the wrong exit. Because if they took the right exit, this wouldn't have happened, which wouldn't have led to World War One. This is something I learned about. It's one of the first things I learned about the butterfly effect, which really got me interested in that. I did a reaction to the butterfly effect. If you guys want to see it, it will obviously be down in the description below. I was going to say comments. It's going to be down in the description below, so don't forget to go check that out. But yeah, that's what I meant. That is mad. That is mad. That is unbelievably mad.
Austria-Hungary is understandably pissed about all this, and they think the Serbian government had something to do with it, which they might have. So they go to their ally Germany and say, hey Germany, we're going to declare war in Serbia, and Germany is all for that. So Austria-Hungary send a big list of impossible demands to Serbia, and when Serbia refuses, they declare war. Austria-Hungary and Germany are friends, and Serbia is protected by Russia, who's friends with France, so they all declare war on each other. Montenegro joins in too. France and Britain also have a kind of alliance. So if France says, hey Britain, you got my back, Britain is like,
maybe. I didn't know.
And then they decide to stay out of it, which is great for Germany, because Germany has a plan. They know that Russia Russia is so big and clumsy that it will take them a while to get ready for war. So with this guy in charge, Germany will send all its troops into France at lightning speed while Russia's getting ready, defeat France, then move all the troops to Russia and defeat Russia, and we all speak German, eat Pfeffer podcast every day. Just one problem. France has loads of forts and defenses along its German border, and Germany can't waste any time fighting them, so Germany decides to go around them through Belgium. Belgium is neutral, but Germany wants to march 750,000 troops through it to get around France's defenses. They're hoping Belgium will just kind of sit down and shut up, but they don't. They fight back.
Obviously, they need their people.
They slow the Germans down. What's worse is that Britain shows up, and they're pretty pissed that Germany's invading neutral countries. So now Britain declares war on Germany. So Germany push on through Belgium and commit some atrocities along the way. They also wear spikes and sometimes skulls on the uniform. So if you're trying to not look like the bad guys, good job. The Allies have a propaganda extravaganza, and this starts having an influence around the world, notably in America. The US President Woodrow Wilson sees himself as a bit of a Jesus figure and spends most of the war trying to get everyone to just hug it out. But there's also a large population of ethnic Germans living in the United States, and when the war first broke out, they were like, yay, Germany. But now that they're committing atrocities in Belgium, they're less enthusiastic. Let's play Spot the French Soldier.
Oh my god, why are you playing? There's only one, right?
He's wearing a bright blue uniform with red trousers. And do you know who else spotted him easily too? The Germans.
Oh.
So when the French were
shot him dead.
marching in columns through the countryside, the Germans easily tore them to shreds with their giant guns. All the nations involved in this war went in with an old school war mentality.
No.
And all of them had to update their uniforms and tactics a lot during the Great War. Because this war was going to be like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Russia's ready for war, and way earlier than expected.
Damn it.
The Austria-Hungary, can you get on top of that? Oh yeah, sure, we've got this. Nope. So Germany has to send some troops back to the east to defend against the Russians. The chief of staff of the Austro-Hungarian army is this guy, and although he is handsome, he turns out not to be the best military strategist. Austria-Hungary constantly ignores Germany's advice, and then comes running back to Germany whenever they get in trouble. Austria-Hungary even gets its ass kicked by tiny Serbia, who repels all their invasion attempts at the start of the war. It's better news for Germany in the north, though, where they almost completely wipe out the Russian second army. Back on the western front, the Germans continue advancing and are in sight of Paris. At this point, anyone had been forgiven for thinking the Germans were going to get that quick victory after all. But then things start to go wrong. The French commander-in-chief knew something had to be done, and he ordered his armies to stop retreating. In the resulting battle, a gap opened up in the German lines. If a gap opens up, the enemy can use it to flank you from the side and behind. So the German armies have to retreat. The Allies launch a counterattack, so the Germans take into defensive positions. The Allies do the same. Then both sides move north, trying to outflank each other along the way. When they reach the sea, they're in a stalemate with trench systems running the whole way from the coast to Switzerland.
Yes, even Stevenson.
Warfare on the western front. Here's how trench warfare works.
Okay.
Two opposing lines of trenches with no man's land in between. One side would pummel the other with hundreds of thousands of artillery shells, sometimes for days at a time. This had a huge psychological effect on the soldiers, leaving many shell-shocked. Then, the attacking troops would leave their trenches and rush across no man's land. A muddy, wet mass of shell craters and barbed wire. The defending trench would unleash machine gun fire on the attackers, inflicting thousands of casualties. The attackers would send wave after wave until either they gave up or the opposing trench was finally overrun. There would be months of fighting and the deaths of thousands in order to gain a few meters or kilometers of land. Living in the trenches was hard too. Corpses, mud that could swallow you whole, pools of poisonous water, rats, disease, the smell. It's insane that millions of soldiers put up with these conditions, and commanders ordered them to do so for years.
Bro, these soldiers, man, for all they've done. Oh my god, I feel really bad for their families and stuff. If you guys are like descendants of any soldier, like ancestors, yeah, I feel really bad. My deepest condolences. But wow, okay. Oh, damn, we need to watch part 2 before we make any final conclusions. But for now, that's mad. France and UK, France, whoa, they're going all in, man. Germans, damn, it's only World War One. Is it what? I don't know. Which has more deaths? Was it World War Two or World War One? don't know. I think, damn. All I can say is we shouldn't. I don't want this to carry on. You know, I want no more. Though it's talking about World War III and stuff. I don't think so. I don't think we should go for peace. You know, peace is is the best way to protest, is with peace and with love, I think. But yeah, that's mad. That's mad. So my question is, what are the military equipments they had back then, and how does it differ? So which countries had which equipment, or where does what originate from? Is it mostly Germany that had most of these equipments? But where was weapons? I know this city that a lot of weapons were made here, but wow, that's mad. That is crazy. That is absolutely mad. But yes, what can I say? I don't know. We'll probably have to wait for part 2. So yes, we'll wait for part 2 and then we'll make a final conclusion. But until then, this is really good, man. This is really, it makes it a lot, like the picturizations, it's easy to understand. Of course, some of the jokes aside, altogether this is very nice, man. So yeah, I'll put the original link down in the comments, in the description. I keep saying comments. I'll put the original link down in the description. Definitely go check it out. You know, show the channel some love. They already have like millions and all of that subscribers, but if you guys haven't seen this before, definitely need to go and check it out, man. Love you all. You're amazing. Stay home, stay safe, stay blessed. Stay also my little dragons, and I'll definitely see you in the next video.